What I was hoping to find by moving to Wyoming was a place where I could live in the mountains and live in the woods and be a part of a community, in a community, and have neighbors, but neighbors that I can't see their houses and I don't see them very often. And, you know, to me, that's Story, Wyoming. It's like a church that somebody took the roof off of. It's perfect. The ranches, the landscape speaks for itself. That's the stuff you can see when you come here. What I really think people should come here and take away is the lifestyle. My name is not Sean Parker. This is actually my backyard. Now get off my property.
Sean, get the camera!
Ever since I was a little boy, the backyard has always been an exciting place to play. When I moved to Wyoming, the backyard became a wild, untamed realm of endless adventure. I'm Sean Parker, and this is Bighorn Mountain Country.
So just start, we'll just have a conversation.
Okay.
And we'll start by you introducing who you are and what you do.
Okay, my name is Bert Kuntz, and I'm one of the owners of Bison Union and Bison Union Coffee, which is located on Main Street down in downtown Sheridan, Wyoming. So Bison Union is a combat veteran and ranch cowboy owned lifestyle brand, but we're also a coffee company. There's Bison Union and Bison Union Coffee, and we have a coffee shop down on Grinnell and Main, right smack in the middle of Main Street, right in downtown Sheridan, and we couldn't have picked a better spot or a better place to open a business. Why I chose to move to Wyoming, I actually grew up in Kansas and Texas, and I love both those states. They both fit my ideals and my values and what I believe in this country. But I also love the mountains, I love rock bottom rivers, and you know, I love wide open spaces. And for me, I looked at about 4 different states and about 11 different towns and decided on, somehow stumbled through business, getting hats and t-shirts and stuff for the business we have, made by a local business here. Immediately on my first trip, I fell in love with Wyoming. Working in downtown Sheridan is great. It's such a beautiful downtown, and it's vibrant. People are respectful and nice and polite, and it's just more, for a small population, it's got the most decent Americans that I've ever met in my entire life, but it's also a city. So for me, moving up here into the mountains, after a long day or night, I roast coffee sometimes at night, or I go down to the coffee shop and I work during the day. When I leave town, I've got a 28.3 mile drive from the center of downtown to where I'm sitting right now, but that's probably the most peaceful and one of the best parts of my entire day. There's no traffic. My traffic driving to and from Sheridan to work is mule deer, whitetail, bears, raccoons, turkeys. I get stopped by turkeys more than anything. You know, for me, that drive it's a chance to unwind, and then I come back to this, and it's perfect. The best way to experience Story, Wyoming, I think, is to immerse yourself and live off the land. Get up in the mountains, go hiking, you know, harvest your own meat, go hunting. There's world-class fishing here. Go catch your own fish, but you know, live off the land. I also recommend doing something that scares you or gets you out of your comfort zone a little safely, but gets you out of your comfort zone, like getting up into the mountains, hiking, rock climbing, you know, getting up on the trails and actually seeing the terrain here. And the last part of that is, you know, it goes hand in hand with the first 2 things I mentioned is you know, finding some solitude here. It's one of the least utilized national forests in the United States. Get out there, find solitude. You can go hiking right behind me for 10 days and you might see 5 people. Get out and find some solitude and find some peace.
And do you have to wear boots and chaps to get coffee at Bison Union?
You do not have to wear boots or chaps or muck boots or, you know, woodland clothes to come in and get a cup of coffee, but your coffee's free all day if you do ride up. There is a hitching post outside of Bison Union Coffee. If you ride up on a horse and hitch your horse, you get free coffee for the whole day.
All right.
All right. It's a hell of an interview. Well, my friend, we've got a mission. Mission from Bert. He gave us a very strict mission.
I thought that was advice.
You may call it advice, and as someone who has never served in the military, but has seen a lot of movies, I take that as being possibly the greatest mission of all time.
Oh, okay. That's like the part of Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Where okay.
They want you to think you've got a choice, but you don't.
No. Yeah.
That's part of the mission. That's the test.
Yeah. Do we have bad guys?
Jeff.
Okay, I'm psyched. Okay. For his tips mission, what's number one?
Number one is basically fending for yourself, living off the land.
Okay, that we can do, right?
Yep.
Been on
Hunting.
cattle drives.
We've done so many cool things.
Yeah.
Hunting, fishing, foraging. We've been training for this all season.
Yeah, true. Okay.
I mean, we can go out into the woods and maybe scrounge for berries or pine cones or something.
Cool. Okay. I'll eat a pine cone.
I'll eat a berry.
Yeah.
Great.
I'll eat a bear.
Okay.
Number two,
doing something that frightens you or challenging yourself.
good one. Right.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think Bert does for that one? He fears nothing. Right?
He fears nothing. I mean, he chases bears off his property wearing nothing but slippers. He just gets after them.
But us, though. So what are we going to do?
I'm afraid of a lot, personally.
Squirrels?
Don't like them. Snakes, hate them.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like snakes either.
No, I'm not snake wrangling.
Let's skip that one. Though.
Okay.
We'll figure something out.
We'll figure it out.
Right? And number three, I like this one.
I do not find any utility in this one at all.
It's
Number
a mission,
3.
I thought.
It is, but I mean, you don't have to like your mission.
That's
but
true.
you're in the service of the mission itself.
Okay. Right.
Number 3 is finding solitude. I don't even know what that means. I've never spent more than 15 seconds in a quiet space in my whole life. So I'm not sure.
Maybe it's your chance to try it.
Why? I've got this far.
You don't know what's going to happen. It could be amazing.
Well, it goes back to number 2. I'm very afraid of things.
This is the perfect mission for you.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. But I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We've just been spending some time with our friend Bert. He's encouraged us to live off the land and get wild and get back in touch with nature. So we've come out to a place that we've heard many legends of. It's a spectacular fishing hole. We've never fished it, never been out here. Many reasons why we've never fished it, but today seems to be the perfect day to do that.
Fishing is not allowed. You gonna tell him or should I?
Hey, are you guys coming?
No! Should we just let him get arrested?
So, obviously, we are not fishing here at the Story Fish Hatchery. Let's just make that very clear.
It is not allowed for anybody. No one is fishing at the Story Fish Hatchery.
Don't do it. Do not fish at the Story Fish Hatchery. What you do here is you come out to learn about the amazing things that the Wyoming Game and Fish Department does in preserving amazing lakes and streams, about breeding fish,
Local
populations, about fish drops, how they drop them into alpine lakes, all sorts of amazing aquaculture activities that this fantastic group here in Story is responsible for. None of that includes fishing at the Story Fish Hatchery. So I'm ready to check this out.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I love this place.
The Story Fish Hatchery is an amazing interactive education center, but one of the things that you can't do right now, unfortunately, is go inside the visitor center because the state is being fantastic about adhering to social distancing guidelines and making sure everybody's safe. So hopefully the visitor center is open by the time you folks are seeing this show, but if not, again, we hope for sometime in 2021 because it is an outstanding facility and there's a lot to be learned up here.
Really fascinating educational, like weekend trip, day trip up here. It doesn't take long at all to get here from Sheridan.
Yeah.
My favorite field trip as a kid growing up.
My favorite field trip today.
As a kid.
As a kid.
Why don't we start? You just introduce yourself and give me your title.
My name is Steve Diekema. I am the superintendent of the Story Fish Hatchery.
Right on. So Steve, tell us what the Story Fish Hatchery is.
Well, the Story Fish Hatchery first started in 1909. It is the oldest hatchery still active in the state. The hatchery was started back in those days to rear and stock fish into the Sheridan region to promote better sport fishery in this region. Over the years, the facility has stocked a lot of fish in the Sheridan region as well as around the state. Recently, the hatchery has changed a little bit. We're now a brood stock station, which means we raise adult fish for egg production. So instead of stocking many fish in the Sheridan region, we're actually responsible for providing eggs to our other facilities around the state, and they raise the fish and stock them around the state. What's really cool about Story Hatchery is that it is totally funded through license fees. It is funded through your hunting and fishing licenses, and all of the fish that we do stock go back into public waters.
For people who may not understand, what is the process of stocking like for you and your crew?
Ooh. How long an answer you want here?
Whatever you want. If you've got a Cliff Notes one, that's fine. But if you want to get into the details, that's great too.
Because we really don't stock a whole lot of fish, but the process is the local fish managers, they actually put together a list of fish that they would like stocked at a certain time of year in a certain size. And we as the hatchery system then pick up them requests and stock the fish based off from the local fisheries management recommendations. And so this can change. Sometimes we only stock a 2 to 3 inch fish, and other times it may be what we call a catchable, a 8 to 10 inch fish. And each one of those has different rearing requirements, lengths of time. But once they reach that size, then we go ahead, we load them onto our stocking trucks, which have oxygen enhancement and water recirculation technology on the tanks, so that we can haul these fish from the facility to the body of water and provide a very healthy fish when it reaches that public water that we're stocking.
Fantastic. So we've seen the trucks up there. They're a pretty cool piece of technology. Is it true though that Game and Fish has also used helicopters to stock lakes in the past?
Yes, our wilderness areas that we can't reach by truck, we use helicopters and tanks. And that's where I talked about stocking a smaller size fish. That's what we tend to stock in the wilderness bodies of water. It's much more cost efficient to stock a 2 to 3 inch fish than a 10 inch fish. Less trips for the helicopter and more fish that we can put in the tank each time they make a trip up to them wilderness lakes.
And what does that look like? Is that just, this helicopter flies by and drops this bomb of fish from 1,000 feet in the air? Or what does it look like when it happens?
They actually get really close to the water, from what I've been told. I've never been lucky enough to be on one of these trips, but I've assisted with loading these tanks, and it's a fascinating setup. Each one of these, I guess I would call it one big tank that hangs underneath the helicopter, has multiple smaller tanks in it, so that when the helicopter goes up, they can actually stock multiple bodies of water. They just hover over top of the water. They get as close as they possibly can, and then they open the appropriate tanks to stock that body of water. And then they can move on to another body of water after that.
That'd be quite the sight. I think it'd be a neat thing to see one day. I've never seen it either.
It sure would be.
So, hey, tell me why Story was selected as the site of one of Wyoming's fish hatcheries in the first place.
Well, it all comes down to water. In order to raise fish, we need water. And Story up here in this location has a large spring that provides a reliable, year-round, consistent supply of water in order to rear fish. That's why this area was selected back in the early 1900s.
Okay, great. And, it's a really spectacular place. It's beloved by locals and people from all over the state, and visitors from far beyond our borders often try and make sure they stop at the fish hatchery. What is a day for you and your crew like up in that beautiful setting?
Well, our day starts out the same every single day, and it's the care for the fish. We need to clean each tank every day in order to provide that healthy environment. Our number one goal up here is to have healthy and happy fish. And so it starts off every day by cleaning the tanks and then going around and feeding the fish. After that, it can vary from day to day. We have a multiple variety amount of tasks that we do. We talked about some days we are stocking fish, but a lot of our time is actually taken up with spawning of our adult fish. We produce, close to 6 million eggs a year from the fish that we have here. We have 5 different species of fish: brown trout, lake trout, brook, rainbow trout, and California golden trout. And so throughout the year, these fish spawn at different times. In the spring, mainly the months of March, April, early May, the rainbow trout spawn. And then in June, the California golden trout. And then in the fall, the month of October, the lake brown and brook trout spawn. And so those times of years, we're really busy manually removing the eggs from the fish by gently squeezing their bellies. That's how we actually get the eggs out of the fish. Once the eggs are out of the fish, then we incubate those eggs until they reach what we call the eyed stage. It's at that point in time that we actually ship the eggs off to the other facilities around the state. That length of time, the incubation can go anywhere from 21 days all the way up to, 90 days, depending on our water temperature. But once they reach that eyed stage, then we have to pick them, what we call, and remove all the bad eggs, and then package them up and ship them off to the other facilities. So depending on the time of year, we can be very busy with them aspects. In fact, the month of October and through November, we're extremely busy with the spawning process and shipping eggs. But on top of that, what a lot of people don't realize that we at the hatchery are also responsible for a lot of the maintenance at this facility. We mow the lawns, plow the snow, clean the bathrooms, and if you see all the buildings up here, we're also responsible for that maintenance, which can include painting, carpentry, and other maintenance work. We actually do as much of this work as we possibly can because we don't want to call in contractors. Our goal is to stretch that sportsman's dollar just as far as we can. So not only are we fish culturists, we're basically maintenance people as well on top of all of our other duties.
Well, it wouldn't be Wyoming if you weren't wearing about a dozen different hats in your day-to-day.
That's true. Yep.
Hey, so talk to me about the actual process of gathering those eggs. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, some of those big fish you guys have up there in one of the areas are upwards of 15 years old. Is that correct?
That's correct. Our lake trout are really long-lived fish, and so they actually don't even become sexually mature and produce an egg until they're 6 years of age.
Wow,
so
okay.
We hold on to them for a long time after that, usually about 15 to 16 years of age, and then we'll stock that age class out and bring another one in. And I think I know where you're going with this. That older fish gets really big and is hard to handle. We've all been fishing and have tried to grab onto even a smaller rainbow trout just to try to get it off the hook. However, when we're spawning, we got to handle that fish for an extended period of time and try to gently remove those eggs. Well, what we do is we actually have an anesthetic that we put the fish into. That makes it much easier for us to handle the fish, but more importantly, it's less stressful on the fish. And that's what we're all about, is we want to handle these fish very carefully. We want to produce a good egg. So we actually anesthetize them in order to gently squeeze the bellies. The fish then remove or release their eggs into a pan for us. Then we can grab the male and add what we call milt or sperm to that pan, add a little bit of water to activate the sperm, swirl it around, and within 15 seconds, that's all it takes for that whole pan of eggs to be fertilized.
And when you say a whole pan of eggs, how many eggs or approximately would one of those big fish deliver? For
our large lake trouts, anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 eggs per female.
Wow.
And so on spawning days, we'll sometimes spawn, I guess with some of our other fish, brown trout, up to 400 fish a day. So it's over and over and over again that we're spawning those fish, and then afterwards we have to rinse the eggs to clean them out before we even put them in our incubator.
That's amazing. So these fish are out there day and night, all year round, and I'm talking about the big trout. Now, do you have any issues with big predators up there? Because you're in Story, there's mountain lions and bears, and if I'm a hungry animal in the fall, that looks like a pretty cool sushi bar. Is that an issue for you guys?
That's not an issue at all. We've never had any problems with bears or mountain lions. Our main issues are with birds, mainly bald eagles, great blue herons, those type of predators, the winged ones mainly. Okay. And if you've been up to our lake trout pond before, a lot of folks ask, why are there wires going over the top of the pond? Well, that's what those are for. Just by having those wires over the top of the pond, it keeps the bald eagle from diving in and capturing those fish.
Oh, interesting. I've actually always wondered that. So that is pretty neat. Very cool. Well, so let's take us through the visitor experience then. Why should visitors from our own backyard and across the state and from wherever else they might come consider a visit to the fish hatchery?
Well, what we like to say is this is your opportunity to actually see a fish up close and personal. We all know as we're driving down the road, we can see a deer or an antelope from our car window. How often can you go see a fish up close? We've all been to Lake DeSmet. We've maybe seen a fish swimming by the shore, but you don't get a very good glimpse at it. Up here, especially with our lake trout pond, you can get right up close and personal with those fish. You can feed those fish and really see them up close. And it's a really cool thing. And what's really neat about Story is we are the only hatchery in the United States that has a captive adult population of golden trout that produces eggs. And so it's a very unique opportunity to come see one of those fish up close.
That's very cool. And, it is 2020 and things are a little strange, of course, for all of us, but you guys are open. People can still come and see the fish.
Actually, we just closed to the public yesterday.
Okay. All right.
We have been open to the public throughout the majority of the summer. Our visitor center's been closed, our buildings have been closed, but you could still come out and walk around the grounds and feed the lake trout. But with the rising number of cases, we have, our department has decided to close all the hatcheries in the state to kind of protect the employees. We have an interesting job in which we are responsible for care of these fish 24/7. If we do have a COVID outbreak up here at the facility, we're going to need to be around in order to care for those fish. So we're going to try to prevent any sort of outbreak here that we possibly can, try to get us through the next few months and get us back open hopefully by next summer.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, that's great.
Even sooner. We're just going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's the whole the way we're looking at this year is wait and see, and hopefully when you guys do get back open, we'll be able to send lots of folks your way to check it out, because Fish Hatchery really is one of the true gems of our community and beloved by locals. I know my kids love it. It's their favorite place. They ask to go visit every single day, and we appreciate and really value the work that you and your team do up there.
Well, thank you. We love to see the kids up here. That's one of the favorite parts of my job, when I can walk out the door and hear the kids laughing and screaming down there feeding the lake trout. That is one of the most rewarding things in my job.
Right on. Well, unless you've got anything else to add, that wraps it up for me. It's been fantastic chatting with you this morning.
Very good. If you have any other questions, just give me a call.
Right on. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. And you have a great day.
Yeah, you too, Sean.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Hey, do you remember the last time we went fishing? Yeah, I caught like 11.
This again. Oh, cool. So that's
That's how they pump it in.
wow.
Check it out. Eagle Lake rainbow trout. Very important. Cannot stress this enough. No fishing. Ooh, look at that.
I'm
Freezing. Coughed on a snowflake there.
not supposed to swallow them.
You do you. Nope, this is nature's kiss.
That's sweet. That's a nice way to put it. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm starving. These good folks have foraged and fished from a provider of fish.
It's their land. We're living on it. We're living off it.
Off of it.
For pay. For a fee.
For a fee. Capitalism. Let's do it. I'm starving.
Chicken fried steak?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Ooh, this is cool. I'm excited.
Rustic. I love this.
So I don't know about you, Max, but I'm extremely excited to be
I'm
here.
thrilled, man.
We're at the Wagon Box Inn and cabins. So we've got some great cabins up at this place, but I've never actually eaten inside. Every summer, whenever we come up to Story, we eat outside of the deck, but this interior is spectacular.
It's so cool. It's so authentic.
It's really authentic. You look like a fine, young longshoreman warming up by the fire after a long day slinging crabs, so that's cool.
Not authentic to Sheridan, Wyoming.
Not at
Story,
all.
Wyoming. Excuse
I'm
me.
more authentic to Story today with my lumberjack outfit here, but we're about to tuck into some apps, and then we've got a special treat coming from the kitchen. We told them just
bring us the best.
Yeah.
Show us what you
The
got.
heart stopper.
The heart stopper.
Coronary artery blocker.
Exactly.
I'm starving.
Okay, go. We have some fantastic chicken of the sea right here.
That's tuna, Sean. Chicken of the sea is tuna.
No, this is chicken.
That's chicken.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Tuna.
This is not tuna. All right, this looks good. Oh,
Hello.
Jeff is not allowing us to eat.
no, I mean, I'm starving, and Jeff just wants to keep shooting.
He's a tough director.
This looks good.
It does.
That is a chunk of steak.
Oh yeah,
I'm
it's
excited.
hearty. It's serious.
Oh, that was great. I'm so full. That was amazing. Yeah, we're gonna head off into the wilderness now.
Yeah.
Not the
So,
not the actual wilderness. So people don't write me any emails.
That's a good point.
Yeah, the wild.
But our next step, right? B is a challenge.
We have a challenge from the Bert Kuntz, and we're gonna head off and really challenge ourselves with something
Bring it on.
strenuous.
Yeah. I hate the comfort zone.
I don't
I don't even know.
I don't even know what it is.
Know much. Yeah.
I've never been
What is
comfortable.
the comfort zone?
I've never been there. Right now, I'm sitting on a board with a nail in it.
What are we doing in the woods, Sean?
Well, as you know, Story is legendary and quickly becoming very famous around the world for rock climbing. So I thought
Yes, I did know.
a couple of cliffhangers like us, with one day of climbing between us, could meet up with
One and a half.
could meet up with some local
Hey.
legends, and they can show us the ropes.
Was that a joke?
That was a joke. So this is Nick. Nick is with Bighorn Mountain Guides. Nick, good to see you.
Bighorn Mountain Guides is a rock climbing guide service here located in the Bighorn Mountains. We guide rock climbing trips all over. This area is so special because we have so many different climbing areas. You can be climbing at 4,500 feet, or you can be climbing up at 9,000 feet. So you can really chase shade all day, you can chase the sun all day, just depending on what time of the year it is. Bighorn Mountain Guides takes out everybody. We take out all ability levels. The youngest kid I've ever taken was 4 years old, and it was a girl. She crushed it. She was so light that I had to assist her and feed out rope to lower her down. I've also taken out high school kids who can climb 513, so it's pretty cool. I want you guys to have fun. I want you guys to get a little bit outside of your comfort zone, but I want you to enjoy the beautiful setting, have a fun time, and just really enjoy rock climbing.
And what do you think Sean's chances are of beating that 4-year-old girl?
I think you have...
That 4-year-old girl was pretty special.
Yeah, I don't know, man. She crushed it. We'll see. We'll see. Let's watch and find out.
We'll see. Yeah.
He's gonna have to practice the lower, so you're gonna have to climb that section again.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so sit back.
Okay.
Again, try to make that capital L with your body.
All right.
Legs in your upper body. Took a little bit of rope stretch out of there.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Rope was a little stretchier than we were guessing.
Let's do that one again, because that looked a little
I
slow.
bet I looked a
Yeah.
little
I wasn't
ridiculous
expecting that
when I
much.
power bombed you from the top rope. Okay. Getting really good at this section right here. There we go. Hey,
Now
cool.
I'm just gonna walk backwards. I'm gonna lower you.
Okay.
With that spike.
Cool.
And this is what you're gonna do when you get to the very top.
Okay.
Right,
Jeff, are
Sean?
you ready for this? Okay, here we go.
All right.
Bighorn Mountain Guide climbing in Story. Action. I feel like Stallone in the legendary film Cliffhanger. So I wanted to go right because it looked easier, but I'm always game for a challenge. I hope my coach can't hear me because I'm exceptionally tired. If this coach thinks I'm doing this, he might be crazy. Woo! Yeah! Feels good! I think that Nick did 90% of the work, but that felt really good. This is really, really cool. That was one of the neatest things. I don't know how high up we are. 4,000 feet probably, but it's pretty special up here. Really fun. I'm sweaty, that's hard. Rock climbing is not easy. These guys are animals. Eric's kind of like some kind of Viking god. Just climbs up here in 5 seconds. Looks like he's about to sail off and pillage and plunder some nation. And Nick's right there too, so this is neat, but I'm gonna come down. It's Max's turn.
Can I hold on to these things? Is that cheating? That's cheating. Can't cheat. Huh? Oh.
Got a lot of sweat in your undercarriage, Max.
A lot of what? Feels like this thing's gonna fall off. This beast does look like it's gonna fall off. Yeah. This is a really fun part.
All right, man. Thanks for visiting.
You just gonna stay up there, Jeff?
Yeah.
All right, see you later. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hey, nice work. High five.
Thanks.
You were 10 minutes behind my time.
Oh, all right.
Well, rock climbing. How do you feel?
Many rocks climbed
All the rocks.
by us.
There are none left that haven't been climbing.
No. We climbed all over all of them.
You know, you did pretty good. You were on your second climb, so
Yeah.
I think you beat me by a second or two, which I'll concede. You were slightly faster.
You did a fabulous job.
Thank you.
You
did
looked
great.
really fabulous.
I look great. Thank you. But you know, like in all things, there are pros and there are Joes, and we're gonna watch some pros rip up this rock right now. Patrick Swayze went and drank 15 energy drinks and just dirty danced his ass all the way up this rock. Look at this guy.
Did you hear that? Finally, some solitude. Almost. It's going to be a little bit difficult with him here.
I do talk a lot.
But we're on our mission, given to us by Bert Kuntz, about how to be, you know, really experienced story, like someone who lives here.
As a native, as a local.
As a native, yeah. Mm-hmm. And we're about to go hiking in on one of the beautiful trails that Story has here.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled.
I am too. You know, Story's really neat. It's basically in the mountains. We're on public land right now. Mm-hmm. There's all sorts of access to hiking trails that crisscross really a lot of parts of the I guess you'd say this is the southeastern Bighorns, eastern part of the
Sure.
Bighorns here, that can even get you access all the way into the wilderness if you're among the hardy folk that really like to hoof it. So we're extremely excited.
And we're pretty hardy.
We're very hardy.
Yeah.
Beautiful fall colors, as you can see, really spectacular. We are looking forward to putting a few miles on the trail today and finding some solitude.
Winterland, tell me all your secrets. Fill me in on your wildest moments. Colored trees, your yellow leaves move me. Dancing roofs, your painted red shakes the roof.
Ah, beautiful.
Did you find solitude?
I did.
How about now?
I'm gonna jump off this cliff.
Is this solitude?
Nope.
How about now?
No.
How about this? What a day. What a day indeed. We've really taken Mr. Kuntz's advice to heart. We've been out here living off the land. Trying to live off the land. You know, mixed results for the most part. Living.
Inland. On land.
the land. Living on the land has been pretty epic. finding peace and solitude, conquering our fears.
The solitude, define solitude for me real quick.
Like the word?
Yeah.
Like when you get out there and...
Would you consider this solitude is my question?
What we're doing right now?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think
Why?
we might have learned a different definition of solitude.
Maybe.
Yeah.
As you do. I mean, I am Canadian.
Yeah. I'm thinking about taking a little stroll before we head out. Just, you know, get out in the woods a little bit by myself, do some thinking. You guys will be all right, right?
You're gonna leave?
Yeah, just a quick little nod under a tree or something.
What am I gonna do?
Enjoy some solitude.
I'm gonna get bored, like, extremely quickly. Max, I'll see you guys soon. Where's he going?
30 minutes back in the car.
30 minutes. I've been separated from Max, but he can't be far. I know he's probably looking for me just as hard as I'm looking for him out there in search of peace and quiet or solitude or whatever it might be. So I'll keep searching, keep looking. We're gonna find him. We're gonna find this solitude and this peace and quiet and enjoy some of that quietness together right now. Max, where are you?
Is he gone?
Hey, Max!
This is why you come to Wyoming. Solitude. It's beautiful. You can stay out here all day.
Sure is beautiful out here.
I'm having a lovely time. It's beautiful. Very happy about this. I do think that I heard a noise. I'm not exactly sure what it could be. It could be a bird. It could be a squirrel. But it was something, like a big squirrel, like a really heavy squirrel.
Well, Max said he'd be with us again in 30 minutes. And by my count, it has been a little over 3 hours.
I hear some noises. It's getting a little dark. So probably make my way on back to the road, which I can't really seem to find.
Getting a little tired of the solitude, Scout. We just sit down and rest our eyes for a little bit.
Trying to get some distance between me and the scary sound of the woods.
Hey Jeff.
Hey Sean.
I think I'm sleeping in poison ivy.
Well, just about back to the trailhead, and it's been a long time since we've heard from Max.
I'm big and huge. I'm much bigger than you.
I really hope he's okay, but you know, knowing him, he found all the peace and quiet and all the solitude that he was after. So I wish him well, I really do.
I've fashioned myself some tools, a spear. I found some of the gear in the camera bag that I had left. I'm collecting rainwater and a hollowed out lens. And you know, I could be here forever. Perfect spearhead, perfect cover. Grenade.
Well, we have done just about everything that we can do to find Max. I sat there waiting, then I did some looking, and then I sat there waiting again, and then we made it to the car and there's no sign. So once again, I think he's totally fine. I gotta get home. It's gonna get dark out here, and I don't drive well in the dark anymore. So we're gonna take off and hope Max has a nice night. I think it only gets down to like 32, 33 tonight, so he'll be fine. All right. Well, if you see this, Max, hope you're doing great. Take care. Peace and quiet and all this solitude. Where are we going?
Why don't you go look over there?
This way? Are we going this way? All right.
Okay, so quick update. Everything's fine. I think we're headed to its lair. My new friend and I will catch you next time.
Why did I drag you uphill?